Hello everyone, you're welcome to Thydee Fashion YouTube channel. My name is Debbie, and on this YouTube channel I share sewing tutorials, pattern making ideas and tips. Okay, so if you are yet to subscribe and you are new on this channel, please do subscribe, and please, each time you watch any of my video, I want you to like the video. Please do like all my videos. You know, liking the videos help other people, you know, to get to see the video, and of course it will really benefit them. Okay, thank you so much, and let's dive in. Now in this video I'll be showing you how to reduce or probably prevent gaping on the armhole region. All right, so the armhole area is the spots where the sleeve is being attached to the main bodies. Okay, and there are some who would usually have folds each time they fix or attach their sleeve to the main bodies. Okay, there would always be folds. Why? Now, in as much as I do not know how you guys always draft your basic bodies, now I'm going to be telling you what to do in case, because there are so many ways of drafting basic bodice pattern. I mean the half scale. This is the half scale basic bodice pattern. This is the bodice pattern I used to make the dress in my last video. Okay, this is the dress on your screen right now. So, and of course, because that design is actually a raglan sleeve, you can see that there is no fold on it. There is no fold on it. So because for me, I do not like folds, you know, to have folds on the armhole area. I don't like it at all. It makes your outfit look a bit cheap. Okay, I don't know. So because I like to make dresses or, you know, tops for my client, and it will look so like a ready-made, so like a factory kind of a factory made dress or outfit. So, and these are the things that you should consider. Okay, so please, I would love you to watch this video from the beginning to the end to be able to know how to prevent this. Now, number one thing I'm going to be telling you is that how curvy is the front armhole, because your front armhole must be very curvy. Now, in some methods of drafting a basic bodice, on the front armhole, in the middle of the armhole depth line, you go in by 3/4 of an inch, and you can even go in by like 0.875. That's about 0.9. So, but 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch, is not bad for the armhole curve. Okay, now for the back, the midpoint here, you can go in by 1/2 an inch. Okay, if that is the method you use to draft your basic bodies. All right, so but whatever I'm going to show you how to do in this video, please apply it on all your basic bodies if you've been having issues. Okay, there is a term called an invisible dart. Now, this invisible dart, I don't know if this name is universally recognized. I don't know if that term is a general term. Yeah, but me, I call it an invisible dart, and the reason is because you don't get to see this dart on your fabric. Okay, you only get to see this dart on your pattern. And don't get me wrong, this dart will never affect your pattern. Now, when you use or when you take this dart, it might look a bit funny to you. It might look as if, oh, the pattern is not balanced, but trust me, this pattern will be more than balanced by the time you are done with it. Okay. So now, this is the front. Whatever I'm going to be showing you, you can apply it on the front or on the back, whichever side you wish to put this dart. Okay, the most important thing is that it helps reduce gaping. Okay, now in this my pattern, I don't usually use it. It's not all the time that I use it. The only time I use this invisible dart is when I notice that there is so much difference between the armhole of the front and the one of the back. For example, for me, I feel that the armhole of the front, if it is 8 inches from here to here, the armhole of the back should also be 8 inches. Okay? But if I notice that the armhole of the back is 8.5 and the one on the front is 8, then I could take a dart on the armhole of the back. Why? Because I want the two measurements to be the same. Okay? Or if I notice the armhole of the back is more than the armhole of the front, the armhole measurement I mean, by 3/4 of an inch, I could take 1/2 inch dart on the back. Okay? And of course, by the time I take 1/2 inch dart, now it would have reduced to 8.25. So there could be difference between the two armholes, both the front and the back, but the difference should not be too much. So there is no problem if you notice, oh, there's a difference. Or of course, there could be a difference. But what I don't really wish is that there must not be too much difference between the two. 0.25 is fine of a difference. Now, I'll just put this aside. So, but whatever I do here, please, you can replicate on either of the two. All right? So right now, I'm going to take a dart, okay? So, and please, when you're taking a dart, don't take a dart here. Don't take it here. Don't take it here. Take it on these curvy parts. Now, the reason of taking it on this curvy part is that you will be able to bring the dart into the pattern this way, in a slanted way, and not like this, all right? So now, I will just pick a point. Usually, I pick a point, I don't measure. So I'll just get to see the curvy part, then put it this way, okay? And just do it this way, all right? Don't let it be too close, and don't let it be too up. So if you don't want this part, you can just move it a bit, like 1/2 inch away. This 1/2 inch is much. This is not bad. All right. So then you draw it this way. Then your dart length shouldn't be more than 2.5 inches. For me, it shouldn't be more than 2.5 inches. So, but 2 inches is fine. All right. So then what do I do? From here, from this line, I measure 1/4 of an inch here. From here, I measure 1/4 of an inch here. Now, altogether, I have 1/2 inch. So this 1/2 inch is my dart width on this armhole. Okay? I don't take more than half. So maybe if you try and take 3/4 of an inch, well, I don't have an idea of how it's going to look because I haven't tried it. So, but the maximum I had taken in the past and even now is 1/2 inch. Okay? So what do? You connect. All right? You connect. Okay? So now you do what? You fold. So you can either fold this way or you fold this way. Okay? But I think most times I fold this way. It's easier to fold this way. But for me, I don't really think there's a standard to that. So you can fold it anyhow you want it. Okay? So this is it. This is what I have. So what do? I use my tape and cover it up. So once I use my tape to cover it up, then I try to blend it. Okay? You can use your curve ruler to blend, or you make use of your free hand. So, you know, can you see these parts? So all you need to do, just bring it down, and that's all. And you blend it. Okay? Let me just use this. So then you blend it. That's all. Just make sure you smoothen it. And if you are doing it this way, it's not bad as well. Okay, all these parts, you cut it out. So you blend it this way. So you just trim this out. So whichever way you wish to do it is fine. But the most important thing is that you have reduced the length. Okay? You have reduced it. And is now about half an inch shorter than the way it used to be. Okay? So you can reduce the fold. All right? Now, if you've been doing this, or if you have done this and you still feel that you still need to take more, then you can measure from here to here half an inch. Then you connect from, when you measure from here to here half an inch, it depends on the amount of folds that you have on this area, on the armhole. So from here, then you connect. Okay? You connect. That is it. And you are good to go. So you can now firm up because of this now. And this, the area, the back can now be firmed up. By the time you sew it, it will now, you know, firm up very well and be smooth. That line will be very smooth, and there won't be any fold on that, on the armhole line. I hope you understand. So this is what I call an invisible dart. So by the time you close this up and you blend it properly, can you see that the pattern is a bit, you know, it has affected the pattern a little. It can only affect your pattern, but it won't affect the outcome. So this is how it will look. Can you see that it's not laying well? But don't worry, there is something we call fabric manipulation. So by the time you place this on your fabric, then you manipulate, meaning that you wouldn't mind if it's laying well. All you need to do, just place it this way, attach it with pin, and add your seam allowance, and just like, don't even mind. You will be surprised at how beautiful it will be by the time you finish making the dress or the whatever you're making. All right, so this is it. So just make sure that there is a tape on this. This is permanently down. Okay, so this is what I call an invisible dart, because you've taken it already on your pattern and it's being transferred onto your fabric. Okay, but nobody will know the magic that you have done. Hello, yes, nobody will know, and that's why I call it an invisible dart. All right, so I don't know if it's in books, in fashion books, but me, that's what I call it, because it really helps me around this area. And you can also replicate the same thing on the front if you have folds on the front. Okay, but so far so good for me. I don't usually have folds. All right, so it's not all the time I apply this method. I don't wait until I make my dress. All I do is I make sure I measure this. Once I even finish making my pattern, I measure what I have. It's part of my editing process, kind of. Okay, so I like to confirm what I have here. I like to confirm it. So once I notice there's a big difference, then I just, you know, apply this, and it will really eliminate whatever a difference or probably folds that it could result into at the end of the day. So this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.